Hello and welcome to the Continuity of Instruction Professional Learning Module Part 1. I'm Kevin Cuppett, the Executive Director of Curriculum, Instruction, and Innovation. On behalf of FCPS, I want to thank each of you for your patience during this unprecedented time in public education. We understand that this is a stressful time in our community, and our goal is to provide high levels of support for you if we begin continuity of instruction. State officials are still working out important details and making key decisions, so the information I am providing today may be impacted by decisions made at those levels. This screencast was recorded on Friday morning. We will update teachers if adjustments are made based on changing conditions. Now, I'll be reading many of the slides because I feel that you may be viewing or listening to this professional learning while you're making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, preparing baby bottles, or walking on the treadmill. So think of this as a podcast as much as a PL module. In addition, these PL modules and the actual slide decks with active links will be available in the FCPS Distance Learning Resource Center that you'll be able to access from Curriculum Now. With that being said, let's get started. We felt we needed to provide a definition of continuity of instruction. So what is it? Well, it's the delivery and receipt of standards-based activities and assignments within a course or grade level framework that can be completed with limited instruction during a period of absence. And so we're clear on terminology. We use the term distance learning to describe the way we will provide continuity of instruction. It's the how. As we move through key parts of this definition, you need to begin thinking about what you will include in your own distance learning plan. So there's a lot in that definition, so let's focus on some key parts and what it means for planning for and implementing instruction. What is delivery and receipt of? Teachers, with support of school and central staff, must ensure delivery of assignments and activities to students and must be able to receive completed work back from students for review. So how will that look? So in your plan, you'll need to select a delivery and receipt method. Teachers will choose from the approved methods in FCPS. Those are Schoology, Google Classroom, FCPS email, and print materials. You can also use a combination of those. Now, the pickup, delivery, or drop-off and collection option is being worked out with school leaders next week. Print materials are to be provided to families who don't have internet access. Now, at the elementary level, these print materials are being created and printed centrally and delivered to schools. Now, parents may pick up and drop off materials at the school, or FCPS Central and school staff will support the delivery and collection of these materials. These procedures are being finalized and are informed by the health practices provided by the Frederick County Health Department. Now, at the secondary level, we are increasing internet connectivity for families by providing a number of mobile hotspots to homes without internet access. Print materials may only need to be used on a limited basis in middle and high school. One option I'd like to talk about is Schoology. This tool is designed to support distance learning. Part 3 of this PL module will highlight the many capabilities of Schoology. We will show you how Schoology can help teachers implement distance learning and show you the significant number of support resources we have for teachers if they choose to use Schoology. Let me be clear, Schoology is not required. However, we didn't want to be 4 weeks into an instruction and have teachers finding out that Schoology is a tool that they wish they would have known about before they started distance learning. So back to the definition. What are our standards-based activities and assignments within a course or grade level framework? Well, this is pretty simplistic, but basically the standards that you use in your course or grade level must be the standards that you use when you assign work to students. So kindergarten art, grade 4 math, American Studies 2, grade 6 science, these are all examples of the standards that would be used to maintain your course continuity. So at some point in your planning, you'll have to select and develop the standards-based activities and assignments that you'll provide for students. So you have a couple of options here. You can use your own resources. Many teachers have things immediately ready to use, or we're gathering and collecting those before the closure period. You can also select from centrally provided options. So we have a number of digital and easy to grab options that our curriculum specialists have created for all kinds of courses and grade levels. So you could pull from those, and you could also use a combination. In fact, when you start your distance learning, you might want to rely more on central resources while you build up your own. So there's a lot of flexibility in here, and you'll have to share in your plan what you're going to do. So the next part of the definition is limited instruction. And limited instruction is the necessary guidance and content required to complete the activity or assignment. We all know that our first systemic attempt at distance learning will not be the type of instruction we provide daily when our students are with us in school. So the goal of limited instruction is to provide the clear directions and necessary content to get those jobs done for students. So you may choose any of the following to provide clarity. You could do written directions with content. You could do video explanations or provide audio messages. You could even do screencasts like this PL module. We currently have teachers in FCPS who use these to provide directions and instruction for students. We'll talk in the next part of the module about the resources we can provide for these approaches. So now that we've covered the definition, let's talk about your jobs to be done. One of the other jobs that you have is to review Part 2 and Part 3 of this module. You'll need to develop your distance learning plan using the Google form provided by your principal. And you'll need to look for direction from your principal about virtual preparation meetings. So you have some context. Here is a three-phase approach to highlight some of the key responsibilities in regard to distance learning. Please review this again at a later time. Phase 1 is the preparation occurring on the week of March 23rd through 27th. Phase 2 begins if the state permits us to allow continuity of instruction days to count as school days. And Phase 3 deals with tasks that you would have to do upon returning to school. So in my discussions with FCTA leadership, we felt it was important to define what proficient was during these circumstances. If teachers can do these things, we feel they are meeting the expectation for distance learning. Connect with and support students, provide appropriate activities and assignments, receive and review completed work as appropriate, be flexible and err on the side of students, and for most teachers of record, enter 1 grade per week per subject. Proficient doesn't mean that you have to use every digital tool or resource that we share. It doesn't mean you have to use Schoology. But just focus on the basics and approach distance learning with an open mind, be willing to learn and improve, and connect and collaborate with your peers, whether those peers that are in your school or peers across the district. To end Part 1, I want to address the role of teachers who are not teachers of record. There will be plenty to do in this new learning environment. These teachers will directly support instruction, contact parents and connect with students, support teachers who are providing continuity of instruction, respond to issues or concern at the discretion of the principal, and participate in special projects as requested. We will all learn much when implementing distance learning, including identifying areas of concern and then responding to resolve those concerns. This will require an all-hands-on-deck approach, so I thank everyone in advance for focusing on students and their needs and supporting one another. So let's move to Part 2, where we will identify some best practices and teacher resources that will be available in our distance learning guidebook.